Trump's an idiot. Okay, next story. All right, just messing with you. Folks, but we know that's to be true. The twice impeached, criminally convicted felon-in-chief, Donald Trump, escalating trade tensions once again, with a fresh wave of tariffs set to hit dozens of countries at 12:01 a.m. on Friday. But now he's saying, okay, no, Mexico, I'm not going to do it. Okay, another country going to do it. And I love this here. Hey, South Korea, they're going to spend almost $500 billion with us. So South Korea is going to spend a quarter of their GDP. Dude, stop lying. He threw out Japan. Oh, they're going to give us $500 billion, and we're going to make lots of money. Japan's like, nah, no, we're not. No, we're not. I mean, we literally have an idiot who is engaged here. He thinks that he should get a Nobel Peace Prize. He is so jealous of Obama. And so now they're like, oh, Donald Trump, look at all the wars that he stopped. That's also sheer stupidity. Now we have the idiot announcing, oh, we're going to build a $200 million ballroom at the White House because that's what we need. And so he's personally overseeing the construction of this new ballroom. Okay, y'all, like seriously. Now, we have existing facilities in the White House, but he's like, no, we need a new ballroom. And so you know what's going to happen. It's going to be gold shit everywhere. I mean, you know it's going to be one of the ugliest damn rooms you've ever seen. And so what he's doing is he's literally trying to turn the White House into that piece of crap place where he is at Mar-a-Lago. So this is a rendering that they posted that we should do. So we got that, and then he's going to get the $1 billion jet. So that federal government, see, I love this here. The federal government is going to pay more than $1 billion to upgrade the jet from Qatari government, and then Republicans are going to vote to go ahead and just give it to him when he leaves office. Now, he's already enriched himself by upwards of $800 million as well. And so what we really have here, Nola, is an undeniable grift. They have decided, you know what? We didn't really rape and pillage America enough the first time. Let's really do it now. They're like the Vikings of old. Let's just rape and pillage everything.
Mm-hmm. And that signals to me that he has no intention on coming out, honey, anytime soon, that presidency is going to turn into, what is it called? Primogeniture. It's going to turn into a monarchy. You are just spending and spending on the backs of Americans, on the backs of 300,000 plus Black women who are out there looking for full-time employment, myself included. You are doing it on the backs of other federal workers who you just completely displaced. You were doing it on the backs of folks who lost their Medicaid, on the backs of folks who are going to have to pay more as a result of these tariffs. So you are doing all this on the backs of Americans as if you are the grossest, and I mean the grossest example, mythological creature of a king that, we could ever encounter in our nightmares. This is really, none of this is typical. None of this is usual. We're used to that. And I think my question is, it's a legal question, because I do believe he's coming out one way or the other. He is coming out. I do not think it's going to be some, Trump version of a monarchy. But my question is legal. All this stuff that they are doing in broad daylight, is somebody keeping score? I mean, I know last time Rachel Maddow had that wall of all his crimes, but I'm dead serious. With solicitors general's offices being pretty much dismantled, civil rights across all the agencies being dismantled, who is keeping score of all these crimes?
When you have got media kissing your ass and sucking up to you, that's kind of hard. Michael, I love this here. I do. And let me just be real clear, y'all. I have no problem putting this on the table. We often say, no, I don't want to see people harmed. I don't want to see people lose their homes. I don't want to see people lose their way of life. I don't want to see any of those things. I do. If you voted for Trump and you're now complaining about ICE deporting people, I don't mind if you go bankrupt. I don't, because you supported this. See, I remember reading in history, and I believe this was a huge mistake by Lincoln in the North, allowing the racist plantation owners to reassert an oath to the United States to get their property back. No, you don't get it back. So take this fool in Alabama, okay?
Nope.
This fool may go bankrupt because of the workers, but he says, I still stand with Trump. I hope he loses everything. Watch this.
Huge job for the community. Well, the community's going to miss out if we can't get it finished.
Superintendent Robbie Robertson, who chose to conceal his face, told Reuters that it was a recent ICE raid on a job site in Florida, more than 200 miles away, that spooked his staff.
I know that we have lost a lot of our workers because of their hearing about these raids. We have got some of them back, but we're now about half capacity, which basically hurts our work production.
Immigration raids on building sites, part of an expanding crackdown by President Donald Trump on work sites across the country, are causing major disruptions to the construction industry, according to Reuters interviews. Robertson said his company faces a $4,000 penalty for every day it runs past its November 1st deadline, already a potential cost of $84,000.
And those raids happen a good bit away from here. There's a lot of closer jobs than this one, so I know they're all being affected as well.
About 1.4 million of the roughly 11 million people in the U.S. illegally work in construction, more than any other industry. That's according to the Migration Policy Institute, a nonpartisan think tank. And construction industry leaders say those workers are hard to replace with native-born Americans because most don't have the skills.
They're willing to do it. The Hispanic descent, they basically are stepping up and will do some of the hard work. But I am a Trump supporter, like I said, and I do think there is a way to go about doing this, but I just don't think the raids is the answer.
Oh, really? Michael, I hope Robbie goes bankrupt.
And Robbie, who clearly is not showing his face or his identity, well, I guess we know his name, Robbie. White supremacy is more important to him and others like him, or that think like him, is more important than their own self-preservation. And that's hard to compete with when Democrats are talking about, when we are talking about messaging of policy, democracy. None of that matters if white supremacy is your top priority. And so as people of color and black people and brown folks continue to rise both economically, politically, political power, that's a problem. And so if my farm or company or business or I lose my home, but that's okay because we have a president that supports white supremacy. That's what I care about the most for a lot of people. Not all white folks, obviously, but many.
And then, of course, you have the blackface MAGA, who I call the help. Folks like so-called pastor, who we've never heard of, so-called best-selling author of a book we've never heard of. But because MAGA promotes him, now all of a sudden, Vince Ellis gets some airtime. So listen to this fool speaking at the Racist Turning Point USA conference.
And we're going to continue to do these great things. And for these people that want to complain, that want to sit back, who want to cry, who want to talk about how hard it is, I'll tell you what we'll do for you. You want to talk about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion? Yeah, you do need DEI because you're inferior. Yeah, you need it. I don't need it. You walk into my world with a DEI stamp on your chest, and I'm going to slit your throat. I want to see you come telling me you didn't earn it. I want to see you come into my world talking about I need respite and I need a handout. Yeah, I'm going to be smiling at you, boy.
Take it away, Greg.
I love him. My man. What you say his name? William Hannibal Thomas? Is that who that is? It was a remarkable Uncle Tom from the late 19th, early 20s. I love it. I love it.
Wow.
See, when you see what is Lauren Victoria Burke call these Negroes a consensual. When you see a consensual manservant like that, he's got that Byron Donalds energy. He claims he wants to smoke till the smoke starts. That'll be the first Negro to run up behind his master and say, yeah. So I love it. I love that talk. And Dr. Haynes, it's plenty score being kept. The Supreme Court justices have to go to different circuits. They all get assigned circuits. I think Ketanji Onyeka Brown Jackson has the first circuit, if memory serves me correctly. Brett Kavanaugh has the eighth circuit. He spent a little over an hour yesterday or today trying to defend the rocket docket, the shadow docket, and this chicanery they're engaged in at the Supreme Court. And he said in the course of his remarks that he reads all the blogs and listens to social media and all that. He has to stay aware of it. He's aware of all the criticism. Beer Kavanaugh knows what's coming. And so, even as the courts now and the Federal Court of Appeals is hearing an appeal now on these ridiculous tariffs, realizing that the word tariff doesn't even appear in the legislation that King Trump or would-be King Trump is using. What's going to end up? There are two things going on. Roland, you put it perfectly, brother. First of all these deals, the world is laughing. You just, by the way, Donald Trump, tried to defend your friend, the Trump of the tropics in Brazil. You probably just got Lula da Silva reelected in Brazil. Congratulations, you clown. The EU wrote some stuff on paper that ain't worth the paper it's printed on because, as Paul Krugman explained in the New Republic, the EU is not the government. So when they told you they're going to invest, $650 billion? No, fool, that ain't the governments of the EU. They ain't going to give you shit. but you, I got a deal. They're going to invest all this money. They played you. Paul Krugman walked through the whole thing. And finally, this is the thing that is hilarious about it. If you got a 15% tariff on cars coming from Europe, and there are a lot of cars that come from Europe and the United States, and you got like a 25% tariff on the Canadian automobiles, the stuff in the Canadian automobiles was made in Michigan and Minnesota, across the border, come back in. Guess who that's going to hurt? It's going to kill your voters in all those states, and it's going to be cheaper to buy a European car than the one that your people put the car seats in and the seat belts and the radios and send it over the border to come back. Meanwhile, the Mexicans are looking to make deals with the Canadians, who are looking to make deals with the Europeans. The Brazilians are looking to even up their trade with the Chinese. And they are building an economic system that is literally going to punch and collapse in the chest of the United States of America. I say march on, my friend, and take your manservant with you, because every stitch of clothes that fool got on his back was made somewhere outside the United States. Let's see him give that same speech butt-ass naked in about a year.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.